today quizzer, dedicated father, inspirational author, and uh, educationist who has gave away all the luxuries of corporate world and turned himself to just teaching. I think he's a mindset coach. He loves, I think, traveling, cooking, doing everything. And the latest is I love watching his videos. I mean, he's become a YouTuber now. So a big round of applause to Daud sir. And today's session is on parenting style. What do you think your children are missing, or what do you think? Why are they not doing what you want them to do, or why are they not liking things that we as adults want them to do? So I think I will hand over it to Daud sir, and please guide us.
Thank you so much, Kajal ma'am. As always, her role is Fevicol wala, binding wala. That's the business binders I know. A life skill trainer, an early childhood educator, an entrepreneur. I can go on and speak about her. Good people bring good people. And a very warm evening, welcome, namaste, adab to everybody out there. Because मजा तब आता है जब अपने दोस्तों में हम बात करते हैं. And I can see a lot of familiar faces. Cheryl ma'am, good evening. Manisha ma'am is there, all of you around. What we'll do today in the next 1 hour, or hopefully the time that you can bear with me, is we'll talk about basic about parenting. When I started this whole idea of leaving a corporate world and coming back to education, I had lots of parenting ideas. अब मेरे पास एक भी नहीं बचे हैं, बस 3 बच्चे बच गए जिनको संभालते संभालते सारी आइडियाज मेरी खत्म हो गई है. एंड दिस इज हाउ आई बिलीव द वर्ल्ड इज. whatever we do, there'll always be new challenges, there'll always be new ideas that ये कर लेते तो अच्छा होता, अरे यहाँ गुस्सा रोक देते तो अच्छा होता. Parenting is a basic idea you evolve. Today what I'll do, a little bit of theory in terms of what I've learned, what I've done in my own life, and शायद अगर इस सेशन से आप कुछ नहीं ले जाते हैं और सिर्फ इतना आप सीख लेते हैं कि ओके ये एरिया में मैं इंप्रूव कर सकता हूँ या इंप्रूव कर सकती हूँ, या ये अगर थोड़ा चेंज हम ले आए हमारी लाइफस्टाइल में, it'll become better. I think that is what triangle of life is. This is what we are trying to talk about. कोशिश करेंगे. We'll start speaking about environment. We'll start speaking about conversations, breakfast, creativity. And this is what I love doing. This is a concept that I've learned in some books. I've learned from my kids, my daughter. I learned this beautiful thing from my little one. Valentine's Day को आके वो मुझे hug करती है और कहती है, Abba, Valentine's not only between you and Mama, right? I love you and that's Valentine. I said, yes, you are my perfect date, beta. So this is life. I call it the triangle theory because triangle is a very interesting piece of, it's not square. It's something that needs support sometime to stand, and that is what parenting is about. Parenting में हमको support चाहिए अपनों का. There is a quote in English which says, "It takes a village to raise a child." पूरा खारघर चाहिए हमको एक बच्चों को रेस करने के लिए, तब एक बच्चे हमारे होते हैं, right? Today, unfortunately, हमारी lives इतनी न्यूक्लियर हो गई है. It's not that we don't have friends, but sometimes हम अपने काम में इतने उलझ गए हैं कि हमको नहीं पता चलता हमारे बच्चे कहाँ खो जाते हैं. एंड जब खो जाने की बात आती है तो ये एक कॉन्सेप्ट है बर्मुडा ट्रायंगल. मेरे डैडी शिप के कैप्टन रिटायर्ड मर्चेंट नेवी में थे, एंड आई वाज ऑलवेज इंट्रूग्ड बाय डैडी आप बर्मुडा ट्रायंगल के ऊपर गए बिकॉज दीज मिस्टीरियस स्टोरीज वर वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टू मी. सुना है आपने बर्मुडा ट्रायंगल के बारे में? एनीबडी वांट्स टू टॉक अबाउट क्या होता है वहां? यू कैन टॉक, यू कैन चैट, यू कैन प्लीज टेल मी.
Yes, there have been movies on it.
Go ahead.
Where the things disappear.
Lovely, absolutely. एक छोटी सा एरिया है in, and what you said Zenema is absolutely true. It's an area in the Atlantic Ocean, near America, Florida, Cuba, Hawaii, Jamaica, जहां कहा जाता है कि शिप्स पूरी खो जाती है. प्लेन ऊपर से जाते हैं तो वो खो जाते हैं. And oh yes, absolutely, there are some amazing movies, and we always love these mystery things, UFOs, aliens. इसीलिए हमको ना ईटी पसंद है, हमारा अपना क्रिश पसंद है हमको, हमारा क्रिश दिखता नहीं आजकल, वो भी एलियन बन गया है, राइट? अगर कृष्णा तुम जहां भी हो सुन लो ये, तो ये सारी चीजें हमको एक्साइट करती है, एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी टॉक अबाउट. Our kids also love speaking about it. As kids, I don't know, as college students, there were three topics I believe every college boys loved about it. Anyone here? Yeah, I think if Ritesh sir hote to wo bata dete, or Daljit, what boys would talk the whole night about. I grew up in Chennai, so as in my engineering was in Chennai, so I spent my 4 years studying in a Chennai college, and we boys could stay awake talking about these ghost stories. रातों को जिन प्रेत आत्मा टॉक अबाउट इट, और पूरी रात हमारी दूसरा हम लोग पैसों की बात कर लेते थे, रहते नहीं थे इसीलिए बात ज्यादा करते थे, आज एंटरप्रेन्योर्स बन गए. और तीसरा, हम अच्छे बच्चे थे, लड़कियों की बात नहीं करते थे, कोई कोई करता होगा, मेरी बीवी सुन रही है ना, आई कांट टॉक अबाउट इट. बट this is where Bermuda Triangle comes in. Forget where ships get lost, forget where planes get lost. हमारे घर के पास, हमारे घर में शायद, in our own neighborhoods, there is a Bermuda Triangle, and not literally. May God keep our kids safe and may they protected. But somewhere we are losing these kids. एक इंग्लिश में कहावत है, स्कूल इज अ प्लेस वेयर चाइल्ड एंटर्स एज अ क्वेश्चन मार्क एंड लीव्स एज अ फुल स्टॉप. इतनी क्यूरियोसिटीज है. एंड काजल मैम, यू वर्क विद प्री प्राइमरी किड्स, go to a pre-primary class and talk to them and they'll reply. उनको बोलो गाना गाओ, बिल्कुल गाना शुरू कर देंगे. Go to grade 6-7, लड़कियों को बोलो गाना गाओ, वो एक दूसरे को ऐसा they hit with elbows. तू गा, जाइए अपने बिजनेस बाइने से गाना गाने बोलिए. हम देखते ही नहीं एक दूसरे को. हमको we are afraid of being judgmental. We are afraid of being judged. Somewhere we've lost this creativity. And today's session is all about this Bermuda Triangle of a child. It is in and around somewhere here. And that is what I work. That is what I study with. I'm very comfortable talking to kids. That's what I love doing. Grown-ups पे बात करनी पड़ती है पेरेंट्स के साथ, but अगर आपके बच्चे मुझे दे दे, I'll enjoy it more. I love quizzing them, taking them around. And this is what today's session is. 3 places where we lose our children. जहां हमारे बच्चे खो जाते हैं, वो ये 3 जगह है. कोई नई जगह नहीं है, कहीं वो लोग गिर फॉरेस्ट नहीं चले गए, कहीं बाहर नहीं चले गए, कोई ट्रैकिंग में नहीं खो गया. ये हमारा घर है, हमारे स्पोर्ट्स ग्राउंड है, या है ही नहीं शायद ऐसे, और हमारी स्कूल है. And this is not a critical review, it's a very light-hearted version of we do not realize our kids get lost in these areas. Let's talk about each one. Next 15 minutes, we'll talk about home, then playground, and maybe school, where we lose our children. So let's start with home. Very simple. Ghar, हम कहते हैं, by the end of this workshop, I hope you find a third space. Starbucks कहता है ना, we are a third space. We are a safe space. We need to find a third space between these areas where a child can read, where a child can ask questions, where she's not afraid to fail, where he's not afraid to rebel. Because if you don't do that, Instagram is waiting to hear them out. उनके 100 दोस्त वहां हैं, उनके 100 सब्सक्राइबर्स, फ्रेंड्स, फैंस हैं. They need us to talk about it. So let's start very simple. The first place where the child gets lost is the home. बचपन से सुनते हैं, घर पहली स्कूल है बच्चों की, घर के अंदर माँ बाप पहले टीचर्स हैं, और मेरे बच्चों को तो क्या, घर में भी मैं ही टीचर, स्कूल में भी मैं ही टीचर बन जाता हूं, तो कितना बुरा लगता होगा पता. बट द आइडिया इज, हमने क्या किया हमारे बच्चों के साथ. स्टैटिस्टिकली, यही एक स्टैटिस्टिक्स मैं आपके सामने रखता हूं. 5 साल या 4 साल के पहले, द चाइल्ड इज विथ यू फॉर 17,000 आवर्स. 17,500 घंटे तक बच्चा हमारे साथ रहता है. हम क्या सोचते हैं, स्कूल जाएगा तो डिसिप्लिन सीखेगा, स्कूल जाएगा तो कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाएगा. स्कूल में एक बच्चे को सिर्फ 11 मिनट मिलते हैं हर दिन इंडिविजुअल अटेंशन. एवरेज स्टैटिस्टिक्स है. आप सोचिए, जो चीज हमने 5 साल या 10 साल में बच्चों के साथ नहीं की, हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं स्कूल बदल के. स्कूल इज नॉट अ मिरेकल स्पेस. समटाइम वी ब्लेम स्कूल्स टू मच. Sir Ken Robinson, a very good, I love his books, and he just passed away a few years back. He said, whenever I pass by a school and a jail, I feel sorry for people inside. I hope हमारी schools ऐसी नहीं बन जाए, but somewhere we lose out the very beauty of this. Sometimes we forget that school is not just the place. Home is the place where the child spends time. Okay, a quick question to all of you. Let's use the chat. आप अपने बच्चों के साथ कहाँ ज्यादा समय बताते हैं? Where do you spend your time with your kids? Go ahead.
I spend it home.
Okay, Manisha ma'am, in the room with on
In
food.
my house itself.
Okay, all right. But what do you do with when you're together? Use your chat, speak up, whatever.
Yeah, because with the elder one now, so he's grown up. But whenever, whatever his interest was, he was photography and all. I used to encourage him to do that wherever
Lovely.
possible nearby. The
Okay.
younger one is into. I have made him develop an interest in art, which I do it and make him do it. Whatever he feels like, whatever pictures he wants to do it, I make him do that.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Most of us talk to our kids over lunches and dinner. अगर हम साथ कर लेते हैं तो I love that part. Mansi ma'am, you raised a hand. Go ahead. Tell me anything around our kids. Usually, one of the best things. Yeah, go ahead, Mansi ma'am. Speak up, please.
I spend time with my son mostly, playing, cooking, painting, crafting.
I
So
love
it's
that
pretty much,
idea.
yeah, it's like just all over.
Brilliant. And especially when you teach your sons to cook, I'm sure they're developing the side that they've never ever explored. And I know a lot of boys who bake, a lot of boys, a lot of girls who cycle with their dads and swim with them. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Besides all the good moms out here, अच्छे mom ही आते हैं, fathers तो नीचे हैं building में, right? वरना वो work कैसे होगा? So the point is, usually our idea of spending time with kids is these. उनको एक तोहफा ला के दे दिया, हमने गिफ्ट्स दे दिया, and then the gifting part is especially after a travel, the father is guilty. मैं travel करके आया, I couldn't spend my time, चलो कुछ expensive Lego toy ला के दे दिया, या remote control car दे दी मैंने, या फिर हम सोचते हैं कि नहीं, हम जब बाहर जाते हैं once in a year that exotic location हमको जाना है, and that's the only time सिंगापुर गए, we spend time with them, or some restaurants, or at least a movie theater that we talk about it. And most of the time, and I'll talk about dinner and lunch, हमारी conversation यहाँ खत्म हो जाती है. We have not spent. I love some of you what you said, photography, cooking. I would love that, but unfortunately ये एक system में नहीं है, isn't it? हमारे बच्चे इतने अलूफ हो गए that today mobile phone is the only, and we're not complaining about it. The only thing I'm expecting is there's no blame game here. हम क्या कर सकते हैं, ये मेरा focus है. And the only lesson I have learned is this idea called rituals. एक किताब है, and I'll keep referring a lot of books. Ask me if you love to read. Come home and hijack my library. I love to do that. Take away the books. There is this idea which says, what are the rituals in your house? And when I say rituals, I don't mean religious rituals. Rituals are just togetherness. आपने लास्ट टाइम रोज शाम को क्या करते हैं? People wait for those lunch rituals, people wait for the bedtime rituals, and what happens is बाकी सारी चीजें आप भूल जाएंगे. You not forget the rituals. The rituals could be just walking with them, just playing a sport once a week, but you don't forget. Or the father comes and tells stories to them, or you go swimming with them. I have a session, we hopefully next time we'll do something called dolphin dads. What are your rituals with your child? Not one off, not महीने में एक बार याद आ गया तो हमने कर लिया, but something you do on a consistent basis. Mansi ma'am, I'll share the book in the group itself, so please don't hesitate, ask me and I'll share all the book names. This is what will remain with them. It's called power of moments. हम ये भूल जाते हैं कि जो moments है ना, for example आप घर आते हैं, the first thing you do is you tell them the story what happened in the office. Now they wait for it. Now they wait. Okay, Papa ghar aane wale. I'm going to wait for the stories. Or you just go out buying fruits together. That's it. Simple. काम करना ही हमको. हम लोग हमेशा साथ जाएंगे. Or your cycling ritual. Or bedtime story. Or मजाक उड़ाना. तीनों gang बन जाते हैं. हम मैं मेरी बेटियां and my wife is on the other side. And teasing her is a ritual, but do it consistently. And this is what we're talking about. Think about your rituals. Think about moments that give you joy that you do every week, week after week. This is the beauty of it. Good parenting does not involve exotic locations. आप Disneyland जाइए, बिल्कुल जाइए. We don't mind. We love for you to go. But Disneyland is one in 365 days. Tell me what you do in the 360 days that you're together. Those are the rituals we want to talk about. Find out what. Can I have some more rituals? Please go ahead. Something that happens every week with you and your kids. Go ahead. Storytelling, walking together, cycling,
Yes,
board
Neha
games.
ma'am has raised.
Yes, Neha ma'am, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, David sir. Uh, there one ritual which I follow with my grandchild is storytelling. Yes, definitely. But then bringing stories to life is my ritual.
Wow,
Uh,
beautiful.
like not every story I can bring to life in action at home, but I try to pretend play with her. For an example, if we are not missing out too much time, quickly I'll tell you one story. That's the Shera time, and Gia was not ready to look at the book, but somehow she was able to sit with me and listen to Ramayan story. Then I became Ravan, she became Sita, her mother became Ram, her dad became one of the character from the story. And that entire week we did the pretend play of that the Shera story.
पूरे घर में ही रामलीला चल रही थी, है ना?
यस, रामलीला कर दी घर में सर, और वो इम्पैक्ट ऐसा गया वो बच्चे के ऊपर कि शी नोज द स्टोरी वेरी वेल. दैट episode she knows very well, which we were trying to play like effigy of Ravan. And but then
Absolutely.
at the same time I said Ravan was not bad. Ravan was very brave.
A lot of
Ravan was
conversation
very
happening in one.
knowledgeable.
Brilliant.
Ravan was a risk taker. He was a doctor. He was like many things I told. So at the same time, I didn't want her to believe that Ravan was bad.
Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing this beautiful, heartfelt part. What now? What has happened, Neha ma'am? And for all of us, hum just sun rahe. This child of hers, this grandchild of her, will never forget this. Next time Dasera comes, then she becomes a mother. When she's traveling somewhere, this is a moment she'll never forget. We have created this opportunity. दैट इज व्हाट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. ऐसी छोटी छोटी चीजें जो आपको याद दिलाएं कि आई ग्रू अप टुगेदर. It could be exercising, it could be listening to music and doing Zumba together at home. शायद कोई नहीं देख रहा है, मस्ती कर रहे हैं आप, but you're doing a little bit of 15 minutes. Be consistent in your rituals, and that will happen. This is my ritual with my daughters when they're growing up. Cycling was something I love doing, and it could be just today, it could be dancing at home with music on. And I give credit to my wife. I have to सामने बैठी है इसीलिए. But the point is, one of you have to take the lead. Start the idea, and anything you do will be wonderful. Let me come to a small common case study. थोड़ा मजा आएगा, हम लोग रिलेट कर पाएंगे और शायद हम कुछ सीख पाएंगे. एक रिचुअल में जो स्ट्रांगली बोलता हूं कि वन मील शुड बी टुगेदर विदाउट योर मोबाइल फोन, विदाउट अ टेलीविजन ऑन, विदाउट मी लुकिंग एट अ स्क्रीन. एक वन मील, एंड यूजुअली आई नो ब्रेकफास्ट इज अ डिफिकल्ट मील, मे बी डिनर, maybe lunch if the father is not home for lunch. Let's have that ritual. If not that, at least start with once a week, and everybody, all device off, you are together, you're enjoying the meal. France में culture है called the slow food culture. Of course French are opposite of Americans. They said sometimes we eat food and we don't even realize how much we ate or what we ate. This is a ritual I would endorse. Let's take up a case study. This case study, let's say, of this little girl. Let's call her Ananya. And Ananya comes in the morning. Abhi Ananya Anand ban gaya, but let's have pictures just change. Let's say aap subah Anand ko nashta de rahe, and Anand is a fussy breakfast eater, right? Now this is a parent who's saying, Anand, please have your breakfast, and he's saying, no. Should I say mama or papa? क्या बोलूं मैं? क्या example दूं? Mama या पापा का? I usually ask this question and I get some answers. So go ahead. Anyone? Mama या पापा? किसका example दूं मैं?
Papa.
पापा. पापा को तो पता ही नहीं है बेटे को नाश्ता मिला कि नहीं मिला. पापा खुद कर ले, बड़ी बात है मैम. इतने जनरल.
In my case, it is not that.
I'm so happy.
In my case, it's grandmom.
There are some lovely grandmoms and grandfathers and mamas here who gives credit, but पापा बेचारे ब्रेकफास्ट वाले पापा नहीं होते. मैं नहीं जानता हूँ. एटलीस्ट दिल्ली से चेन्नई तक मैंने ट्रैवल किया, बहुत रेयर पापा. बट लेट मी जस्ट से इट्स अ mama's prerogative बच्चों को नाश्ता कराना. But now this child is absolutely adamant, and he says, "Mama, I want Kellogg's only. I don't want anything but मुझे Kellogg's चाहिए." Now what will you do? आपके पास घर में Kellogg's नहीं है तो आप क्या करोगे? बेटा, I don't have any. क्या करेगा आपका बेटा मैम अभी? बहुत अच्छा बेटा है, क्या करेगा बेटा? बेटा ब्रेड बटर जैम दे दूं आपको, वो बहुत अच्छा है. बेटा मानेगा कि नहीं मानेगा मैम? एवरीबडी हियर, पेरेंट्स,
No.
मॉम्स? या लवली. बिल्कुल नहीं. वो आपका हस्बैंड थोड़ी है कि आपकी हर बात मान लेते हैं बेचारे लोग. उनके पास चॉइस थोड़ी है. आपके बच्चे सिखाते हैं क्या होता है रियल दुनिया. नहीं चाहिए मतलब चाहिए. आप जितना उसको मना कर रहे हैं वो उतना एडमेंट बन रहा है, उतना जिद्दी बन रहा है. आप अभी बोल रहे, ऑप्शन दे रहे हैं, चलो ये केलॉग्स नहीं, ये सीरियल ले लीजिए. एंड नाउ उसके टैंट्रम शुरू होते हैं, उसके नखरे शुरू होते हैं. अब मुंह बनाता है, लेट जाता है, जमीन पे रोता है. एंड आई एम श्योर अ लॉट ऑफ अस कैन रिलेट टू इट. If not our kids, we heard stories about it. We have heard parents come and complain about it. And this is such a common example. अब हम क्या करते हैं? Now we are losing it. अभी तक बहुत अच्छे मम्मी पापा बन रहे थे. Now we lost it. We said, Anand, you're behaving like a baby now. Anand, बहुत हो गया, अब बस हो गया. अब you're putting me to the edge. Anand, मुझे गुस्सा आने दो. Now you're threatening a 7-year-old child. You are talking, you are 35-year-old person threatening a small. उससे बुरा आप पता है क्या करते हैं? आप उसको कंपेयर करना शुरू करते हैं. आप आनंद को बोलते हैं, आनंद, लुक एट योर सिस्टर अनन्या, कितनी अच्छी बच्ची है. अनन्या जब बोला खाना खा लेती है, मेरी बात सुनती है. अनन्या 2 साल की, उसको पता ही नहीं क्या हो रहा है, वो स्माइल कर रही है आपको देख के. और आनंद का सेल्फ एस्टीम अभी आपने तोड़ दिया. अभी आपने सिबलिंग राइवलरी की सीड डाल दी. अभी आपने उसके भाई को यह एहसास दिलाया कि योर सिस्टर इज नॉट योर फ्रेंड. You've just created you've created a family feud in the house. How? By just insisting that the child eats Kellogg's. That's all. हमने, it is said that when adults respond with logical explanation, it becomes harder and harder and they protest more. The moment you are giving logical explanation to a child, the child becomes angrier and angrier. And this is so sad, isn't it? We are creating a situation for ourselves we just don't realize. I'll give an answer to this. It's from another book called How to Talk So Kids Listen and How to Listen So Kids Talk. I'll give you this. But before I go on to give a solution for this, let me go on and give a different solution. It starts with us. Before you are a parent, there's another relationship you entered, right? And that is the spouse relationship. And unfortunately, we want to become good parents, but we never ever put an effort on becoming good spouse, good husband and good wife. ये relationship शायद ऐसा लगता है, we forget. अगर हमने जितना खर्चा हमारे शादी में किया था, in English there are 2 words, right? Wedding and marriage. ये दोनों अलग अलग चीजें हैं. वेडिंग इज अ 1 डे 1 वीक अफेयर. आप आते हैं, कार्ड छपाते हैं, बहुत अच्छे खाने देते हैं, डेकोरेशन जबरदस्त होता है, मंडप लगाया, मेहमान आए, मिठाई दी, और दैट्स ओवर. बट मैरिज इज समथिंग दैट गोज ऑन. व्हेन इज द लास्ट टाइम यू पुट एफर्ट इन योर मैरिज? I'll give an example. I don't know how many fathers are around here, but all of you, husbands and wives, wherever you are, how many names do you have for your spouses? कितने नाम से पुकारते हो आप? आपके हस्बैंड आपको कितने नाम से बुलाते हैं? Go ahead, tell me 4, 5, 6, 3, 2.
1.
1? Oh, he's in trouble now. अभी जब मैं बोलने वाला हूँ, he's in trouble, right? The moment it is so strange. मैं मेरे दोस्तों के साथ मैं सेशन करता हूँ तो मैं बोलता हूँ, दोस्त अभी मोबाइल एडिट कर दो, 4-5 नाम लिख दो, बिकॉज घर जाके चेक होने वाला है. आपका नाम क्या नाम से सेव किया उन्होंने? I'll come to you, Neha ma'am. I'll just come to you. What is the name he saved you with? Right? This is important, right? Is it a name that I said don't pick up, or Shehzadi या Princess? क्या आप बुलाते हो एक दूसरे को? Forget kids, because बच्चे ना आपको देखते हैं. Children don't see. एस्किमोस के लिए पानी बहुत वैल्यूबल चीज है. वो उनकी जिंदगी पानी में है ना. उनके पास 200 नाम है पानी के लिए. स्नो के नाम है, रेनफॉल के नाम है, स्नोफॉल के नाम है, ग्लेशियर्स के नाम है, आइस के नाम है, इग्लूस के नाम है. दे हैव नेम्स. व्हेन समबडी एंड समथिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, अरब्स के लिए अरब्स के लिए ऊंटों के नाम, बिकॉज कैमल इज कॉल्ड शिप ऑफ द डेजर्ट, राइट? They have so many names only for the camel. Why? Because it's so precious to them. So if you love somebody, if you like somebody, don't we name our gods with so many names we call them? Because if you love somebody, you have, okay, thank you, Sona and Jan. Sona phone pe nahi hai, he's in trouble now. So tell him to edit the phone before I come, or you check it. What are you calling each other? you know Love jo hai na has to be seen. Love is not just, it's not enough to say I love in my heart. It is something you have to express it. Somewhere down the line, अगर एक ही word love का है, what's the point? You love your kids, you love your parents, you love your neighbor's wife. यहाँ तक नहीं पहुंचनी चाहिए बात, but अगर यही word है तो what's special? Your wife needs to feel special, your husband needs to feel special. ये सेशन के बाद एक हस्बैंड ने मुझे फोन किया, दाऊद सर प्रॉब्लम हो गया। मैं, क्या हो गया? आज मैं मेरी बीवी के लिए फ्लावर्स लेके, आपने सेशन में बोला था ना, वो शक करने लगी मेरा अफेयर है। मैं, अच्छा प्रॉब्लम हो गया ये तो, राइट? तो ज्यादा थोड़ा प्रोसेस करेंगे हम लोग इस चीज को, बट यू मस्ट एक्सप्रेस लव. When is the last time you hugged your spouse, your husband or your wife in front of your children? And if you haven't done, you have not expressed your love. When is the last time you had a family WhatsApp group? At least you and your kids should have a WhatsApp group. Oh, thank you so much, Awataf ma'am. She's, express it, tell it, because that is where the beginning of it. मैं हमेशा कहता हूं, the best gift a husband can give to his child is to love the mother of the child. The best gift मैं मेरे बच्चों को दे सकता हूं is to love Shazia, and that's it. I know तनिष्क के डायमंड्स काम आते हैं जब भूल जाते हो एनिवर्सरी, but other than that, expressing love, showing love is very important. This is where we are talking about. So now when your child hears it, child believes it. When you tell a child I love, the child believes because he sees that expression in the way you appreciate. और मैं आपको 3A का फॉर्मूला बताता हूं, 3A फॉर्मूला. अप्रिशिएट, एक्नॉलेज, एडमिट. लिख लीजिए आप कहीं. हम भूल जाते हैं अप्रिशिएट करना. Your husband comes home tired and he's just parked the car perfectly. Appreciate it. Why the other way around always? Why should I always tell about appreciating food? He drove, he just came, he's tired. Appreciate. He looks handsome, he's worn a nice shirt. Appreciate it. हम भूल जाते हैं appreciate करना. And I'm not talking about kids only, I'm talking about husband and wife. Then acknowledge. Acknowledge कीजिए ना. हम तो एक्नॉलेज ही नहीं करते कि घर में कहीं ना कहीं बच्चे हैं. एक्नॉलेज करना बहुत जरूरी है कि आई एडमायर द वर्क यू डू, आई लव द वर्क दैट शी डज, एंड देन एडमिट कि हम भूल सकते हैं. एडमिट दैट ओ आई हैव दिस लिटिल फेलियर, शॉर्ट टर्म एंगर फॉर वेरी शॉर्ट टर्म. बहुत थोड़े वक्त के लिए वो गुस्सा आता है, वो खाली खारगर के सिग्नल पे आता है, वहां से घर तक संभाल लेना मुझे, है ना. वो सिग्नल बहुत खराब है, सबको आता होगा, बट एडमिट करोगे ना तो आप उसका सोल्यूशन निकाल पाओगे. Anyway, we had a lot of conversations around it. Remember the 3A formula. आज के सेशन से कुछ मत सीखो, आप इतना सीख जाओ, acknowledge, appreciate, admit. अब हम बच्चे से बात करते हैं, वही मेरा fussy child that we have, Anand. And what does Anand do? Anand says, I want my Kellogg's. यही सिचुएशन, यही केस स्टडी हमने पहले बात की. आपने आनंद को कहा, बेटा I wish I had some for you. आपने ये नहीं कहा कि घर में नहीं है, आपने ऑप्शन नहीं दिया, आपने सिर्फ ये कहा कि आई रियली सिंसियरली विश मेरे पास कुछ होता. नाउ बच्चा है, अभी भी हस्बैंड नहीं बना है, जिद करता है, आई वांट इट. नाउ यू चेंज द लैंग्वेज. अब आप क्या बोल रहे हैं? आनंद बेटा, आई रियलाइज हाउ मच यू लव देम. मुझे एहसास है आपको कितना चाहिए, केलॉग्स ही होता तो कितना अच्छा होता. एंड देन यू स्टार्ट टॉकिंग. पता है आप कैसे बात करते हो? सोचो अगर मेरे पास एक विश होती अभी और एक बड़ा सा केलॉग्स का डब्बा आ जाता और जितने केलॉग्स से हम स्विमिंग करते हो हमारे मुंह में जाता. यू आर टॉकिंग टू अ चाइल्ड इन अ फैंटेसी वर्ल्ड. इट लुक्स वेरी फिक्शनल, ये क्या बात कर रहे हैं हम. बट व्हेन यू टेल देम दैट यू बिलीव इन देयर ड्रीम्स, इन देयर डिजायर्स, यू बिलीव इन व्हाट दे वांट, दे विल से ऑलराइट मम्मा, आज काम चला लूंगा मैं दूसरे सीरियल से, कल मुझे केलॉग्स चाहिए. It is the idea to have somebody understand you. Life becomes easier than arguing about it. So many times we have been blaming our wives. Most of the spouses do that. तुमको फोन की क्या जरूरत है, कभी फोन उठाती ही नहीं हो. And the moment you say that, you've already started an argument. आपकी कन्वर्सेशन आर्ग्यूमेंट में होगी. डू वी डू दैट? वी डू दैट. हम हमारे बच्चों के साथ करते हैं. बच्चा घर आता है रोते हुए, लग गया, एकदम रो रहा था, ये ना एकदम. पता था समीर के साथ खेलते हो ना, मैंने बोला था समीर के साथ मत खेलो. अरे रो रहा है आपका बच्चा, आपने पूछा नहीं कैसा हुआ, आपने उसको ब्लेम करना शुरू कर दिया, आपने उसको क्रिटिसाइज करना शुरू कर दिया. दीज आर वर्ड्स, रिमूव इट. थोड़ी प्यार की भाषा ज्यादा आ जाएगी ना, हमारा लाइफ इजी. एंड आई एम नॉट इवन टॉकिंग अबाउट वैलेंटाइन. वैलेंटाइन तो बहुत शॉर्ट है, सिर्फ फेब में डाल दिया, छोटा सा महीना है, खत्म हो जाएगा. Real love, long. It is a March love, it's an April love, it's a June love, it's a love that lasts all throughout the year. Are we good? Are we happy? So, this is what I do. A lot of you want to know. So, I work with schools, I work with children. I have created a curriculum with some of my colleagues called the Indradhanush curriculum. It's the curriculum that is based on life skills. And all I'm asking is, अभी मैंने जो आपको सिखाया, it's a life skill. थोड़ी छोटी छोटी लाइफ स्किल्स जो है ना, कम्युनिकेशन, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग, हम ये करना शुरू कर देंगे ना, हमारी लाइफ आसान हो जाएगी. एनईपी जो है, नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी, वो कहती है 10 लाइफ स्किल्स बहुत जरूरी है हमारे लिए. टेक अ स्क्रीनशॉट, आई विल शेयर द प्रेजेंटेशन. कोई चीज ऐसी जो हिडन नहीं है, जो आपके पास नहीं होनी चाहिए, आस्क मी एंड आई विल गिव यू. लर्न दीज 10 लाइफ स्किल्स. सेल्फ अवेयरनेस, मुझे पता है मुझे कब गुस्सा आता है, देन आई विल बी मोर सेल्फ अवेयर. एंगर मैनेजमेंट पे वर्कशॉप तो बहुत बड़ा है. मैं एक छोटा सा टिप देता हूं, आप मेंटोस की छोटी सी वो स्वीट्स रखिए. द मोमेंट यू आर फीलिंग एंग्री, गाड़ी चलाते ना, पॉप इट अप. मुंह में कुछ होता है ना, गुस्सा होना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. एटलीस्ट 4-5 गालियां जो देते हैं हम, बंद हो जाएगी. बिकॉज यू आर सकिंग समथिंग विच इज शुगर, विच इज इनटेक इज मेकिंग यू फील बेटर. जस्ट डू दैट. This is a life skill. Like that, I hope I can connect to schools. I can meet a lot of school heads, a lot of principals. If you know somebody, I'd love to introduce this program into schools, and that's what we do. Are we good? Can we go ahead? Yes? Are you all enjoying? Are you all with me? So thank you so much for all the thumbs ups and the emotions. It makes a lot of difference. I know koi soya nahi hai, sab yahi hai. I'm so glad. Any questions, any suggestions? We are open to. अभी तक तो हमने बहुत बातें कर ली हस्बैंड वाइफ की. I'll tell you something. एक कपल रिलेशनशिप इतना जरूरी है जिसमें एक आदमी बात करता है और दूसरा, प्लीज टेल मी, क्या होता है कम्युनिकेशन में? एक आदमी, यस,
सुनता है.
नहीं, एक आदमी बात करता है और दूसरा हस्बैंड होता है. यस, थैंक यू सो मच. राइट, दिस इज सो नाइस टू सी अ लॉट ऑफ यू. ओके, लेट्स गो अहेड टू अ सेकंड पार्ट कॉल्ड द प्लेग्राउंड. You see, आज प्लेग्राउंड वैसा रहा नहीं है. The way we grew up, when we were growing up, and it's a common story, our parents had to, मेरी मम्मी चिल्लाती थी कि शाम को घर आ जाओ. आज शायद बच्चों को धक्के मार के बाहर भेजना पड़ता है, बेटा बाहर भी तो खेलो. उनका प्लेग्राउंड वो Fortnite and Roblox and all these FIFAs, it has become PSPs and Xboxes. And today it's all about on the mobile phone. The world has changed. And
But
how
luckily, Kendra Vihar Khargar has a good playground, and my kid
oh,
Kendra
wonderful.
Vihar Khargar has a good playground, and my elder one, so we used to wait if he comes back on time. He never used to come back on time after play.
Absolutely, ma'am. And I think we are very blessed. All of you in Navi Mumbai, as a community, we have a lot of gardens. We have got a lot of turfs now. We've got enough open spaces. Trust me, मैं हमेशा किसी को invite करता हूँ, मैं यही बोलता हूँ, आप नवी मुंबई आओ, आपको पार्किंग स्पेस मिल जाएगी. हमारे दिल में भी जगह ज्यादा है. हम थोड़ा बोस कर सकते हैं नवी मुंबई कर, और हमारे यहाँ हमारे गार्डन्स और हमारी पार्किंग स्पेसेस भी जगह है. आई नो सम ऑफ योर फ्रॉम द अंधेरीज एंड सिटी. वेल, दैट्स द वर्ल्ड वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. But that's why people from Warsaw have shifted, right? Shabana ma'am is already here from from Yari Road. So this is good world. But also there is a world that exists जो दुनिया बदल देती है. That is the online world. It's a different world we are talking about. It's a world we don't understand. This is a world what we call digital immigrants. हम digital immigrant हैं. हम ये दुनिया से, but these kids, when they are born, the first thing perhaps they hear is not the nurse's voice, but the beep of a message. They are digital natives. आप digital natives से बात कर रहे हैं. One rule, one strong advice: do not follow your teenage daughter on Instagram unless she allows you. Don't stalk them. Otherwise, they'll open a new account incognito और आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा. Screenagers. Yes, Avataf ma'am. Thank you so much. They read on screen and then show them the real world. How you show them the real world? By going with them. Play with them. You take them out. When is the last time you decided to go to Borivali National Park or somewhere here? Speak to Daljit. I mean, I have some amazing friends around. Talk to them a real world. It's important. With my daughters, and I know a lot of my friends, one of the goal is to go to every national park in India. Sundarban se leke Baner Ghatta. This is the idea we're talking about. Take them, because this is what it does, and encourage them to play. मेरा एक दोस्त है बैंगलोर में, वो कहता है स्पोर्ट्स डोंट रिवील, दे डोंट डेवलप कैरेक्टर, इट रिवील्स इट. आप कैसे जीतते हो, कैसे हारते हो, आप हंसते कैसे हो, आप किसी को चिढ़ाते हो क्या जीतने के बाद. दिस इज व्हाट वी टॉकिंग अबाउट. I'll give you a small case study and then probably we'll take this conversation to the last part. Is the story of this man called Lance Armstrong. You may not have heard of him. He is the greatest cyclist in the world. Greatest cyclist in the world. He had prostate cancer. Uski bhi kitab hai. It's not about the bike. And Lance Armstrong, after the cancer, his child was born. And he said, I want to live for my child. A lot of my friends are in health and wellness. Meet them. We want to be strong. We want to swim, not just for our health, but our kids' health. They deserve you. They deserve a healthy version of their father and mother, not a father and mother जिनका arthritis हो गया और जोड़ों में दर्द है और उनके साथ भाग नहीं सक रहे, cycling नहीं कर सकते. No, we can't afford that. You have to be strong for your kids. And that's what Lance Armstrong teaches us. And then he also did endurance. Go around. I keep saying, this is what it needs. This is what, but he could not handle defeat. And ultimately he went on to drugs, and it's a long story. But what I'm saying is, if you don't talk, they will go back in bad company. All I'm asking is, our sports is very important. As a country, India is reaching out. Rohan Bopanna, 43 years, he wins a Grand Slam. And we are talking, I love these. I'm skipping a part because I want to talk a lot about it. Sports day में पता है बच्चों से ज़्यादा कौन excited रहता है? सारी एमीज लाइक, अरे मेरा बच्चा फर्स्ट है, अरे इससे चीटिंग हो गई, बोला कौन सा आपको गोल्ड मेडल मिल रहा है. एनकरेज, सेलिब्रेट. और पर हमारे अंदर तो वही स्पोर्ट्स डे वाली है, मुझे घर में मेडल लेके जाना है. टू इंक्रीज द मेडल टैली यू हैव टू इंक्रीज द मेंटल रैली. वीरेन रिस्कुशा इंडिया के हॉकी प्लेयर है, उनका मैंने एक वर्कशॉप अटेंड किया था. And he has this goal. Geet Sethi, वो इस सब एक टीम में है. They said India has to become a serious contender in Olympics. पहले हमको यहाँ से शुरुआत करनी होगी. Mental, physical हो जाएंगे. Mentally कितने मजबूत हैं. When, and this, the only example I can give you. Today I was talking to a good new connect in Ahmedabad. Are we good on time, Kajal ma'am? We can go ahead. Great. Please spend time. हमने moments की बात की, हम स्पोर्ट्स की बात कर रहे हैं, अब सोल्यूशन मेरा देना है. As I said, all I'm asking you, थोड़ा पैर खींच रहा हूं, थोड़ा आपको एहसास दिला रहा हूं, इन्वेस्ट इन बोर्ड गेम्स. ये वो टाइम होता है आपके फैमिली के साथ, आपके दोस्तों के साथ, जहां आप कंपटीशन तो कर रहे हैं पर आपको मजा भी आ रहा है. इट्स एन अनगैजेट टाइम. इमेजिन बोर्ड गेम्स को चार्ज नहीं करना पड़ता, रियली. एंड बोर्ड गेम में सबसे मुश्किल चीज होती है शुरुआत करना. The moment you start a Scotland Yard or a Battleship or even a Scrabble or Monopoly, Gujarati chu, Monopoly to ramwa chu to, paisa banawana cha apne, right? This is what we do. Just play the game and then you see. Invest in puzzles. One of the best, I'll give you examples. Take a screenshot of this. ये Amazon में अवेलेबल है, ये सारे गेम्स, उसकी लिस्ट आपको भेज दूंगा मैं. मैड रैट पजल करके है, डायनासोर्स, इजिप्ट, वर्ल्ड मैप, बुर्ज खलीफा, आपके सारे पजल्स हैं. Encourage them, they will become better in maths. Olympiad, IIT तक उनको ये काम आएगा. This is what I'm asking you to do. Encourage them to play board games and puzzles. And you play with them. हम ऊनो से शुरू करके फ्लिप कार्ड्स में जा सकते हैं, हम स्क्रैबल से शुरू करके फंग्लिश जा सकते हैं. There's so much we can do and there's so little time. And yes, ये चीज आपको कैसे नहीं बुलाऊं, I'm inviting all of you to come and play board games with us in the Golden Sparrow Academy. This is the kind of Gurukul days जो मैं चाहता हूं. It's an unschool. I'm so happy. Once a month we have this board gamers. Please come and play. आपको खेलने आना है, हम आपके लिए एक टीम करते हैं. Just come and play and you'll see the joy of it. जब तक वो चखेंगे नहीं ना, मजा नहीं आएगा. वो हलवाई की दुकान के बाहर खड़े रह के कितना भी देख लो, वो मिठास नहीं आएगी जब तक आप थोड़ी मिठाई, वो डाइट कंट्रोल बाद में हो जाएगा. एंड आई थिंक दैट्स ऑल आई हैव टू शेयर विथ यू. देयर इज सो मच मोर आई वांट टू टॉक अबाउट, बट ओपन द फ्लोर फॉर योर क्वेश्चंस, फॉर योर सजेशंस, एंड आई वुड लव टू इनवाइट यू टू बोथ ऑफ दिस. If you know somebody, and this is the only request, if you know somebody who is far away, who's struggling with school, especially I know friends in tier 1 tier 2 town जिनको अच्छे teachers नहीं मिल रहे हैं, या उनको English improve करनी है, या उनको कोई medical problem है, there is an online school where I've got 150 students from across India. There is a physical school. Just spread the word, spread some love, और love के बहुत सारे नाम रखिए. And I hope you enjoyed this little session I had. Thank you so much for your time, and the floor is open to ask questions. Kajal ma'am, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. And a very beautiful session, I think. Y- we all, I think, know that board games are important. And during this picnic, I think Shazia ma'am was there, and we all were so engrossed with playing Ludo, snakes and ladder. I mean, that excitement of going up, then snake biting and coming back again, rolling six and all. So yes, I mean, we all became kids. So why not introduce these games again in schools and at home also?
Absolutely.
Let's make it a ritual. I think जैसे sir ने बोला, once a week at least. Let's do it. Let us all pledge to follow that ritual, each and everyone, I mean, in the household. And if you want more puzzle names and all, I think Sir keeps on uploading all the videos about, I think, you unboxing, unpacking videos about the puzzles also, right, Sir?
Yes, yes. So
So
iPhones नहीं निकलते मेरे घर में, games निकल जाते हैं.
but yeah, he does that beautifully. His daughters are around, the whole family is together. Point is, the family should be together for at least, some amount of time wherein you are discussing, you are playing, you know each other, you are bonding basically. So thank you so much, sir, for this insight, and we all loved it. We'll move to, if you have any questions, if you have anything that you want to share, please go ahead, raise your hand.
Hello. Hi, Kajal.
Yes, Neha ma'am. Yes, Neha ma'am.
I would like to share one important point which I observe as an educator as well as a mom and a grandmom. Uh,
Yes.
Giving an example of my own house. Okay. I don't want to go somewhere else. She's 3 now. And as a parent, मम्मा इसको ABCD कब से सिखाना है, इसको 1 2 3 कब से सिखाना है, they are just bothered about the academics. They're
Yes.
not bothered about how to spend time. Actually, to be very, very honest, आजकल की जो पीढ़ी है, I'm talking about the youngsters nowadays, they don't know how to play with kids. This is a very honest feedback I'm giving because not only my house, around me there are many parents, they don't know हाउ टू स्पेंड टाइम. ठीक है, मॉल लेके चले गए, जैसे दाऊद सर ने कहा कि बहुत जगह लेके जा सकते हैं, बट देर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स वी कैन डू क्रिएट एट होम इटसेल्फ. प्लेग्राउंड लेके जाने का टाइम नहीं है, पता है मुझे. माय बोथ सन इन लॉ डॉटर दे कम एट 7 7:30. मम्मा 7:30 प्लेग्राउंड अंधेरे में कहाँ लेके जाऊँ. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द रियलिटी. ओके, लेट्स कम टू द रियलिटी ऑल्सो. यस बच्चा, मुझे पता है 7:30 रात को प्लेग्राउंड में अंधेरा हो जाता है. मोस्ट ऑफ द किड्स गो बैक होम ऑल्सो बाय दैट टाइम. बट क्रिएट दो सिचुएशंस एट होम, क्रिएट दैट, get that thing at home as much as possible if you can, and then weekends you can spend time outdoor playground and
Absolutely.
all that.
So, Neha ma'am, what you said is so true. Just adding my thoughts to it,
Yeah,
as simple as even movies देखना हो, साथ बैठ के देखो.
yeah, yeah,
Movies select भी हम करते हैं ना. So we have this democratic thing. Voting होती
yes,
है. आज Avengers वाली कोई मिस, what are the Marvels देखेंगे या हम लोग Black Phone देखेंगे. And
yeah,
then थोड़ा time भी, if you can spend time with the kids, this
yes,
is the joy they have. Discuss the movie. There is a movie, by the way.
yeah,
Summer आने वाला है. Plan
yes,
a list of movie. If your teenagers are with you, there's a movie called Society of Snow on Netflix. Watch
yeah,
it. Amazing. Just adding few things, Neha ma'am, adding couple of questions on the group. So
Yes.
on the chat, so मैं उनके just I'm not an expert, please. Mansi ma'am, I'm so happy you're in Guntur. Oh, I had a friend in Guntur. No, I think it's a good city. You know, Vizag ke kareeb. Is that right? I hope. No, Karam. I know my friend used to be Tikha Khana. See,
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
right.
time. That's right, Mansi ma'am. Ma'am, don't worry about what we can achieve. किसी ने कहा कि 4 साल का बच्चा है कितना याद रखे 50 तक नंबर्स याद रखे मैम इतने ही नंबर्स हमको याद रखने हैं। अगर
Yes.
पूरा वक्त लग जाएगा तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा है ना द प्रेशर आई जस्ट ऐड समथिंग
So
एक
I have a question. So
yes
they
ma'am
said
go
that
ahead
the kids need to know A to Z and up to at least 30 numbers for them to graduate into like LKG or PP1, what they call it today now. I
fair
don't
enough
know.
okay
So I mean, I'm not very academically oriented. I have been in sports myself, so I don't like force my son to write or do anything. And like, let's say in this year he doesn't graduate, will that be like, will that hurt him, like as in emotionally? Like my friends are going, but I'm not going, like that. Should I
yeah.
force him to write and like remember?
So what you do is if you force him to write, you scar him for life. You know, he will
Yeah.
look at writing as an obligation to please you. But yes, I don't want your son to be left behind. So yeah, he's so small, but 4 years are far smarter than the four that we were on. They know the world around. I don't want him to lose his peers just because we are not encouraging to do something, but reason with him. So I'll give you a simple logic. At a preschool level, how many numbers should a child realistically know?
10.
Anyone? It's 12. Why 12? Look at the clock and I should know what the numbers mean to me. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then at a level where they reach grade 1, I expect them to know 30. So now you know why 30? I can look at a calendar, maybe 31, and I can say what date is today. That's
Yeah.
about it. A
Yeah,
mother
so he knows until 15, but like that 30, I don't know. They're so set on that 30. Uh
unfortunately for a child, 30 just as big a number as 20 is. They are not, it's like a bus. A bus 501 doesn't mean 501, right? वो सुपंडी वाला जोक पता है? I don't know. As a kid, I grew a very bad PJ, but सुपंडी को किसी ने बोला कि 201 नंबर की बस जाती है, तो वो खड़ा था 2 घंटे से. तो उसको सुपंडी क्यों नहीं चढ़ रहे? बोला अभी तो सिर्फ 150 गई है. So it's a very sad, bad joke. I'm sorry about it. But tell a child the meaning of a number. That's what a preschool, Kajal ma'am will do better. But yes, no pressure on a child, but encourage basic writing. You don't want a child to be left behind. One thing I strongly insist, and I'll just, is read aloud to your child. Just read aloud. Let the child not understand, but this is one ritual for the younger ones. There is a book, What to Read When, by the way. It's an amazing book. Should I have it in my library somewhere here, maybe behind? Get it and grab it. Just read a lot to them. There's a book called Gruffalo. Oh, Gruffalo's story is so lovely. Read about Gruffalo, and there's Gruffalo's child. Then there's a movie on Gruffalo. I'm sorry, मैं बहुत बात करूंगा, अभी रोक दूंगा. But when you read something and then you watch the movie, the it's ask the Potter fans, the ones who read Harry Potter and then they watched it. I read I read Game of Thrones, the movie Song of Ice and Fire. I read the book, then I saw. It's an amazing experience. So read to them. So there you are. That's about it.
Here I
सर
would
मेरा एक
like,
क्वेश्चन है.
yeah, yes, please.
हृदय सर बताइए ना. Sir, you're muted.
यस, जैसे मैं बोल रहा था कि आपने छोटे बच्चों के बारे में बताया, राइट? तो
जी सर.
ये जो छोटे बच्चे होते हैं ये तो हम आपको ऐसे भी थोड़ा इधर उधर करके संभाल लेते हैं, लेकिन बच्चे जब थोड़े बड़े होने लगते हैं ना तो उनके नखरे और ज्यादा हो जाते हैं, तो उसको कैसे हैंडल करना चाहिए?
सर हृदय से आपका सेशन बाय द वे बहुत अच्छा था लास्ट टाइम का सर. प्यार से थोड़ा. सर आप बिल्कुल सही कहते. जब तक मेरी बेटियां छोटी थी ना, पर निकल रहे थे, अब सींग निकल रहे हैं उनके. तो मैं भी सीख रहा हूं. जब पूरा तरह सीख जाऊंगा तो आपको समझाऊंगा. बट सर एक चीज मैं जरूर समझा सकता हूं कि ट्रीट देम एज एडल्ट्स. कभी कभी हमारे लिए हमारी बेटियां, मेरी अभी बेटी, बट आई नो, मैं मेरी बेटी को कहता हूँ, आर यू अ डॉटर और आर यू अ टीनेजर टुडे? सर उनके साथ वो कन्वर्सेशन उस तरह की होनी चाहिए. हम कभी भी उनसे एडवाइस नहीं लेते हैं. हमको सर लेनी चाहिए कि ओके आई वांट टू वॉच समथिंग या मुझे कुछ शॉपिंग करनी है, व्हाट एडवाइस विल यू गिव मी? लेट देम टेल अस Myntra में सेल है कि मीशो में सेल है। सर उनको उनके लेवल में हमको इंडिपेंडेंस देना होगा। सर आपने मुझे सिखाया शेयर मार्केट, ट्रीट देम दैट वैल्यू ऑफ मनी, give them some value of money, allow them the description, okay under 100 rupees you take a decision, under 500 you take a decision, you know that सर जितना आप उनको, एक इंग्लिश में कहावत है फ्रीडम विथ फेंसेस, ये जो घोड़े अस्तबल में होते हैं ना सर, उनको लगता है कि हम जितना खेत, सब बच्चे तो नहीं सुन रहे ना, उनको लगता है कि हम घूम सकते हैं, पर थोड़ी फेंस लगी रहती है उसके बाहर वो नहीं जा सकते। इन टीन एजेस को इस तरह डील करना होगा सर। अगर उनको पैजामा
राइट,
जाना है सर, जाने देना होगा, पर आपको पता होना चाहिए कहाँ जा रहे हैं। दैट्स अबाउट इट सर।
राइट सर, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
So I'm just learning as much as you are. There are days I have bad days with my girls, and there are good days with my girls, and we are together in it. That's about it. Over to you, Kajal ma'am. I think you're done.
Anyone else? Anything that you want to share? Okay, I think with this we are towards the end of the session. Shazia ma'am ने लिखा था, she is not from Bombay, so sir का online sessions भी है, which his wife Shazia again, Shazia ma'am takes, and they bring in a lot of speakers. बहुत सारी अलग अलग एक्टिविटीज के थ्रू बताते हैं, नॉट ओनली रोट लर्निंग. So please get connected with sir. We'll be sharing his number, I think. Sir,
Okay,
please आप chat में डाल सकते हो तो. So
I'll do
you know,
that.
please note the number. At least you can visit the website, go through his Insta page, follow him on LinkedIn. He uploads lot of videos on parenting, on children, on chocolate ones. What are those called? What is it?
Parenting.
Yeah. So yes, so a lot of useful informational videos, which again, it's a trial and error for all of us parenting. So do try those activities, do try them at home, give it a thought. And those who are in Bombay, Navi Mumbai, please do visit the center. It's a beautiful space where पता ही नहीं चलता है टीचर कौन है, सर कौन है और बच्चे कौन है. So they mix up, they gel so well. They debates बहुत अच्छे, छोटे से छोटे बच्चे से लेके बड़े बच्चे, I have seen them doing it. So please visit the hub.
अगर आप लोग पिकनिक में थे तो आपने एक बच्चे को भी देखा होगा स्कूल वाले, उनका नाम शबाना था, वो प्रिंसिपल है पर वो बच्चों से कम नहीं है. शी इज समवेयर अराउंड, आई एम श्योर.
Yes, sir, she is adorable. Okay, so thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your valuable time. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for joining us. And we'll take your leave. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Next business binders meet. Bye bye.
Bye.